time was living in the Secwepemc with the Secwepemc, the tribal people of the Shuswap. And we had got a call to welcome Bodek, Wallace Gwayum, and the Copper Caravan, which was on its way to Ottawa, to sing welcoming songs and to welcome him to the land there. And the band and the tribe know us as singers and traditional people, so we got the call to do a welcoming. And when we did that, we met, and I thought, I think I'm related to that guy. And as it turns out, that we found out how really closely we are related in tribal law through my great grandmother, who went over from the Kwakwaka'wakw to the Nuu-chah-nulth and became our family line, the queen of our family line in the Nuu-chah-nulth. And then from there, we found out who our relatives were, and that I carried pipe for the Kwakwaka'wakw and all of the ceremonies that come with the potlatch, and I carried them in Sundance. And at that time, I had heard what he was doing and where he was going with breaking of the copper. And at that time, I was moved to help him, because in like 20 years, he's one of my only few family members that have come to Sundance. I was kind of at the end of my rope with, like, I don't even know if my prayers are getting heard, to being blessed by having 6 coppers at the Sundance, and all of the battalions of ancestors behind him, and that spiritual force showing support. So after we had met, I told him that Sundance just started and I'm usually there. It was like a divine intervention that made me really see the importance of all those prayers over the years of basically breaking the cycle of genocide, breaking the cycle of the healing journey too, to be able to embrace life and start living it, as opposed to just surviving. We want to get past that surviving part. And that was really the last, basically 8 years of, sundancing and piercing and singing and sweating and praying and praying and praying, as well as the World Indigenous Leadership Gathering and carrying the prayers and the pipes and the ceremonies for that gathering, and the basic concern that I had for the direction of the people and the direction that I could see everything going by continuing to consume ourselves, and the shame that all of our people carried, they just didn't feel right. And when I had felt that the shaming ceremony that they were doing, and when he explained it to me, that there was a reverse side to the shame being on the government and to everything that the whole system had done, to being the shame lifted off of us peacefully, in a peaceful way, and then through the guidance of the ancestors of the Peace and Dignity staff and the Journeys, the eagles and the buffaloes and all the bird kingdom and the four-leggeds and the undersea kingdom, and the guidance that they have given me to go to support Wallace Gwayum and the caravan to Ottawa, led to a place of prayer at the Sundance tree, offering of my flesh by piercing at the tree, and clearing the path from any real harm, so that the journey was clear and the prayers were there. I still, at that point, didn't really see myself traveling along with him, but as the sun started to set on that day, I realized that I was going to go with them. And he went with the coppers from the Shuswap to the Chilcotin, and he washed the coppers in the water, and then he was coming back to the Shuswap again to go to Calgary, and he stopped by again on the way back and called me, and he said, well, what do you think? And I said, the van's already packed. we were coming down the hill at the high point in the Rockies, there was a huge, huge lightning strike. And the hugest, loudest thunder that I heard in a long, long time happened when we were just coming over the pass. And that let me know and let us know that the thunder beings were supportive of us and the journey that they were telling us that they were with us, and that we'd be okay. All of our sacred masks that were traveling with us, the sacred instruments that were traveling with us, it really, 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 really solidified for me that I was on the right path, that I was right where I needed to be. I didn't need to plan too far ahead into the future, I just needed to hold my presence right now. And that brought us to museums, it brought us to university campuses, it brought us to apartment buildings, it brought us to big powwows, it brought us to the Native American church relatives, the teepees, the pipe sweats, it brought us to the other medicine staffs, the grizzly bear staffs, it brought us to other beautiful art galleries and wonderful people all across the continent. It brought us to Thunderbird House, it brought us to the other parliaments in Manitoba, to other ceremonies, and then it brought us to beautiful, 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 beautiful Great Lakes land and country, and they really have great mosquitoes over there. Like a lot of them. But that experience of bringing us together and the growth and the learning that we've had together, traveling across the continent, making sure that we pull together, have circles together, was a prayer that that would continue to happen everywhere that we went. That it wouldn't just be something that faded out, that somebody along the way would continue to have the idea of continuing to grow and to learn about, the genocide, and to learn about what it is that we are in the West with the coppers and the people of the copper, the gold and silver, the people of the hard currency of Mother Earth, that have the right to be able to implement law that everything and everybody needs to go by in order for us to be able to be in balance with where we live in nature. When we broke the copper over there, it's like breaking a relationship. At the same time, as soon as that relationship is broken, there's a new one. There's a new one there, automatically, without shame, without oppression, without genocide. That we are people, that we are not companies or corporations, that we are people, original people of the earth. Not just the little reses and the commercial term territories, not just like everything that they put on the map, not from anywhere on the map, but from Earth, from what they call our Mother Earth, from what we call Pachamama with other relatives, the Tamu, the Tumik, the land, the blood of the land, where we come from, the ocean, the power of the ocean, and we climbed out of the shell, our relatives that come out of different creation stories from here all the way to Argentina, that we're from here, and we're unified. We're unified, and we saw that, and our elders saw that 7 generations ago, that we have to pull together. And so that was one of the driving forces that really, really put me on the path of going to Ottawa to break the copper, to be support of my tribal people from the Pacific Northwest, to be there in the best way that I can with the thousands of songs that I sing, the hundreds of altars that I brought, that Creator brought there, that the staff brought there, that creation brought there,